Either you're going to love me or hate me. Doing what's right, even when everything is going bad in your life, has been one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in my life. And I've actually learned that from, studying the Bible, the Word. When I was in segregation, I picked up every single book you could possibly think of, from the Quran to Buddhism to Judaism to, Christianity. Everything, because I was so hungry to know why there was so much hate, why there was so much, just everything, like why did everything happen to me? Let's get into this video. What's up? My name is JC. I am Ron Strong. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up, thumbs down, you know what it is. If you're part of my crew, mi familia, mi raza, mi pandilla, Chicago's finest, what's up? Súbanse a la Suburban. Let's take a ride. Hey, so I wanted to do this video because I get a lot of comments, and they'll ask me like to speak on other people or what I think about this or what I think about that, and the biggest thing that I want to share with everybody is that my change has come in periods in my life, like in chapters. At the beginning when I've always read the Bible. Whoever been to prison has picked up the Bible, because when they got those cuffs on you, you're praying to the Virgin Mary. You're praying to everybody, because you don't want to go to jail. And if you say you're not, then something's wrong with you. So when I went away, man, and we got sent to that New Vegas private prison where they were keeping all the prisoners that were gang members isolated, I started picking up a lot of religion books, and I started reading them because, like I've told you guys in the past, religion has always been part of my life. I grew up a Catholic, and I got sent to church on regular basis every Sunday. Wednesday nights I had to shine my shoes. My mom was just like, there was no question. I had to go. I had to do my community. I was baptized, all that stuff. So it got a point in my life where I started asking myself, why did all these bad things happen to me then, if there's a God out there, if there's, all this stuff about religion, So, like I said, I picked up every single book you could possibly think of. I even went to school for 2 years while I was in there. And I got an associate's in religion. I wanted to know why. Why did all these things happen to me? Why? And the biggest thing that I learned from everything, man, like Buddhism, Quran, Judaism, Christianity, everything, man, is doing the right thing even though you don't want to. I used to have a really hard time with the whole turn your cheek to the other side. But the thing is, this is the thing. You guys hear me say that a lot. It's not about turning the cheek. We can misread that, or we could kind of confuse it with, just let somebody abuse you. No. If there's somebody negative in your life, you can eliminate that person and not interact with them. You don't have to interact or actually let certain situations guide you and for you to make the wrong choice, because at the end of the day, it's either a right or a wrong choice. That's it, point blank. This is where most of my spiritual growth has come from, is doing the next right thing. That's where it all begins. Do I go to service every Sunday? I try to make it every Sunday and not Saturday, but I'm not perfect. I don't make it all the time. Do I make every AA meeting? Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. But every day I have that choice to make a better choice. Every day that I wake up is a blessing. So every day I get to better myself little by little, little by little. Remember, this is not a sprint. This is an all life race. And you even see it in people that do 90-day diets, that they'll lose all the weight and guess they go on an eating binge and then gain all the weight back. The change has to be coming in small frames in your life, so that way you can actually change. Because a lot I get it a lot where they're like, oh, you're putting up an act, you're really not changed like that, you're really not that motivational. I'm not perfect, dude. I'm not saying that I wake up every day in this motivation state and perfect stage and I don't swear, and no. I just have gotten better at coming back and getting back on the horse when I fall off. Because it doesn't get easier, you just get better at it. And it's with everything in life. That's why I compare workouts to everything in life. Because if you're not constantly feeding yourself good knowledge in your head and your heart, then you're constantly making the same mistakes over and over again. I always share a story of my life with the message that I give. And the story that I want to share today is, after I had spent almost a year in solitary confinement, I wasn't doing well mentally. I wasn't doing well in many, many ways. I was in a very bad, dark place. Because when you have to sit in a quiet room with no human contact at all, guess what? Those demons get really loud in your head. And they start to echo, and they start to ask you, and they start to cut you down, they start to ask you, and you start to question everything about your life. Everything, every choice you made, every bad and good decision, everything. We had just opened up a brand new facility in Vegas. It was a private prison, and they started separating all the gang members. Well, there was a Mongol, an MC Mongol, that was not housed with nobody. They left him by himself. He was a straight troublemaker. For the whole time I was there, all I heard him was bang on the door, talk crap to the COs, throw stuff under the door. He was just he was just a mess, and a big fight happened with the Bloods and the Crips, and they started bringing them in, and they started double selling everybody. And for some reason, in my heart, I just knew that I needed to be housed with him. He was on the second floor. I was on the bottom. And I used to just hear him all the time. We never kicked it. We never sent kites, nothing. In my heart, I just felt like I needed to go up there. I asked the white shirt came in, and I asked him, I was like, hey, can you house me upstairs with that guy? And he's like, well, you're gonna have to sign a waiver, because I guess he had beat up his past two cellies. So I was like, I'm down, let's do this. They moved me up there, and when I first got there, I could tell it was like, don't cross this line, who are you? Blah, blah, blah. Show me your paperwork. Where do you come from? Like, I was sitting on the toilet. He was sitting on the edge of the bed, and it was like, almost like a standoff, like a cowboy standoff. And we were just going back and forth, and I was telling him about, how I had got into like small books in the Bible, and I was reading them, and about Buddhism and just all these things that I had learned while I had spent that time down there trying to like better myself and get my head in the right place. Because my whole life, I was always trying to figure out how to change. I just didn't know how. So I knew that I wasn't a bad guy, because a bad guy doesn't feel bad after he does bad things. And I've done some really bad shit, some really bad stuff, but I always felt bad and it always bothered me afterwards. So I knew that I wasn't a bad guy. Well, you know, we sat down, we talked most of the night. Most of the night, went to bed. The next day I got up and I was like, hey, do you wanna pray? And he's like, I don't know how. I was like, I'll teach you what I know. I'm not saying that I'm like a pastor or nothing. I'll teach you what I know. And I started telling him stories, you know, about what I had read. You know, this guy that slept on the rock. At the time, I didn't know what the purpose of all this was. Today, I know the purpose. I know why I went through what I went through. I know why I studied what I studied. I know why I went through those fires today. But back then I didn't. So I started sharing with him stories. I started teaching him. I taught him how to play chess. We started working out. We started doing, 100 burpees in the morning, 100 burpees at lunch. Boxing, I started teaching him how to box. I went to boxing school in Chicago, the Windy City Boxing School, over there close to the Dark Side, 26th Street. I went there for 2 years. And I know the basics, I still remember them. So, I taught him how to do that, and we would box with the sandals. And then we started rolling up the bed and started doing heavy bag, and I just started teaching them everything that I knew and what I was learning in the process. We built one of the greatest friendships to this day that I have, and I always tell people that I've made some of the greatest friends in prison, because think about it. You build a camaraderie and a friendship in chaos, destruction, hate, all these things. But you manage to create a friendship with somebody, a bond, that the day that he walked out of there, the day he got transferred, we both actually broke down and cried, because we had spent so much time together building our friendship and our camaraderie and just everything. We would play chess every day. We would talk about our lives, what we wanted to do, all these things. And this is the thing, man, like, there's so much hate out there. There's so much talk about. A lot of people have been like, oh, well, that's gay, that's not tough. Look, man, I've said it before in all my past videos, man. It ain't even about that no more. About being tough or about being a gangster. I had life all wrong my whole life. And today I know why I was able to feel it in my heart that I needed to go up there and spend those last 3 months with him before he left. Why I studied what I studied, why I wanted to get out of my organization, why I needed to do all the things that I needed to do. What happens to a car that you leave parked in front of your house? And this is a message that I actually heard today at the service, and like, it hit me so hard. God can't do nothing with a parked car. He can't guide it. It can't move. It doesn't go nowhere. If you leave a car parked in front of your house, what happens? It starts to deteriorate by itself. The air comes out of the tires, the motor locks up, the paint starts to rot. It just starts to fall apart. And this is what I mean about change. Even if you're just moving at a slow pace, don't think that you're gonna get out and change your whole life around, or you're gonna, like, from one day to another change your diet and have a six-pack. It takes time. It takes time for everything. But as long as that vehicle is moving, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. You just have to want to still move. Because if you stay parked, guess what? Nothing ever happens. With time, you'll know what your purpose is. I tell everybody has gifts. Everybody has, they say, well, in this world with all this stuff going on, where are the miracles? Where are this? I tell people, shit, I'm a miracle. I shouldn't even be here right now. But I have a purpose, and I have to fulfill it to the fullest. To the fullest. Smartphones are miracles. All these smart cars and all these are miracles. Why is there so much hate in this world? Because we have the choice to either do right or wrong. Point blank. You either walk this way or you walk that way. That's it. But you need to move in the right direction if you want good things to happen. Because guess what? If you move in the wrong direction, bad things happen. I'm not saying that your life is going to be perfect, because if it was perfect, then everybody would be a success. Everybody. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. You get better at doing it. You get better at making better decisions. It's taking me time to get here. But get used to it, because I'm here and I'm not going nowhere. My name's JC. I am wrong and strong. Hey, don't judge nobody. Stay in your lane. Live savage. And remember, you only have one life to live, homie. It's better that you live it out free, off of drugs, and just enjoy life, man. Enjoy your family. Enjoy doing the next right thing. I'll catch you guys on the rebound.